Alright, anyway, hey guys, welcome to another video. I don't really like that. I don't know if I'll set in stone my intro thing, but, well, that's what we're going with for now. Anyway, before I get into this, I have played a little bit of it, and I can't figure out how to restart. I've only gotten through one branch, I believe. But yeah. So let's just get right into it. I'll replay the tutorial so then you all can see how it works, in case you haven't seen this thing before. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. We'll make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you'd like. I'm gonna select the demon doll. You control the demon doll. You are a fierce looking guy, just minding your own business. Now how will you interact with the human doll? Play nice or attack it? I'm gonna just attack it. You kill the human doll in cold blood. How ruthless. You find your very first bad ending. But don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. No. Go ahead, try playing as the human doll this time. No. How long... Okay, so it really won't let me go to the other one. Alright, go back to the demon doll. You control the human doll. You are a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? Attack it! You both attack each other at once and achieve the worst possible outcome. What an excellent bad ending, made possible by your decisions. You'll do well in this theater. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you choose during your last playthrough. You can now turn each one on or off the how to replay as doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce looking guy just minding your own business. How will you interact? Play nice. You and the human doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. End tutorial. I'm done. Anyway, I think I'll try to recreate how I did this one. You're a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You're in church. You pray to your God, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. You'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You'll even know and venture forth to find the demon just to, you know, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the path that I did already. That way you guys can see it on stream. Introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps and starts biting. A lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid. You think, why couldn't you have just been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything. Of course, this was all your fault, for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. Your punishment for questioning your fate, you guess. But I bet you a strong man do it until you are no more. Consumed maiden ending. Anyway, so now, let's go here. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Humans rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. Oh hey, I have a job like that. I'm literally a gate guard somewhere. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. I agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her. Let's not. If only there are people here. Let's not. You tell your friends that you are totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you have to live so comfortably there's nothing to do. The others nod but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be... I don't know how to pronounce that. Would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend the time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and she has a favor to ask. You consider your options. I'm gonna hear her out because that's... I won't have to play back to here. Hear her out. You're in a good mood today, and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Oh, look, they friends. Oh, you can't even see my mouse. I mean, you can see when it lights up stuff, but that's kind of it. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks you where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods, says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with you are impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and says, she gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course. Oh, shit. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. A few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades! Who does this guy think he is? Coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard, who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing his flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You have earned your rest. Victorious underling ending. Ooh, I can. Oh, I just need to play past those? Anyway, let's go with hero now since we met him. You're the hero. You're the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople though. You were born to play this role. I mean, yeah. You head off towards to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. I'm gonna bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make a quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Ask if they'll let you in. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier. You hadn't had a chance to wash it off yet. Whoops, you have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. You make it to the Overlord's chamber and hope there's still time to save the maiden. What? Huh? But, huh? You find that the maiden is being held captive by the Overlord, just as you had suspected. For some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There's no time to hesitate. Yeah, destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised how strong you are. You escort the maiden back home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You're remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero ending. Huh. I wonder. I'm gonna flick off polite and play as this guy again. You were a demon underling and bleh. Blip blip. Yeah, we've heard all this before. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of the Overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time you change management. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friend suggests that maybe you should be the new Overlord. The little crown. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take the day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle and have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you, and you spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. Anyway, as you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Gobble her up. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without much of a second thought. Feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that that's pretty rude of them. You haven't done anything yet. I'm gonna do this. You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak, and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience screams grow louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out with one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling ending. I kind of want to run this again, but not hungry. You know what? Actually, wait 1 second. I'm gonna play as the maiden again. You're a maiden, you live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. We've already heard all this. I wonder what happens if I do that. The demon, put off by your sudden shouting, asks you to keep it down. You apologize. You seem more confused than hostile, which totally catches you off guard. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you're thinking, hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. I want this is like a profile picture on one of my profiles, I'm gonna be honest. Because this just seems cute. I agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who was apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed and the Overlord turns to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. Why can't I not speak? You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out. Something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You didn't want to believe that you had been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be more suitable maiden. She doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her, how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her that you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but she doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize that they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says that you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought the demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives, the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think that this place is far more interesting than the way things were back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. Ooh. And then a hero barges into the room, his clothes stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. He realizes it's demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes towards the Overlord, sword drawn. Protect her. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny. You think you never could have imagined this could be the way you die. The roles all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope everything turns out alright for your new friend. Sacrificial maiden end. Oh, that was a fun one. I'm gonna do the hero, but I'm gonna turn him into a coward. We've heard all this before. Demon soldiers block your path, you can kill them to gain experience. Flee like a coward! Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. You can return home now, your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue the maiden all on your own, if you can't even fight a few lousy demon underlings. You take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates and are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you wanted to reach the Overlord. Ask if they'll let you in. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down. You feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord and the maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There's no time to hesitate. Ask the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their Overlord. This proves to you that demons are really foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. These same creatures have just noticed you and are eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle. You have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. The demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by a group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss at each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it has been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest and it let out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by the flames. Resigned hero end. God damn. I kind of want to do the hero again, but, wait, no, I need to do the Overlord. What am I doing? You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. I cannot read today. Good God. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What is their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing. If you're quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself that everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being an evil Overlord as they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Tell them to go back to work. Grant them the day off. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to take a nap for a while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You awake to a knock at your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her that you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Why? Perhaps I'm not performing my roles well enough? How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists to stay and talk to you more. You feel the warmth inside her as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time that a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. Aww. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons aren't all what she expected them to be. You're glad she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid human villages as to not agitate them, and get the heroes sent after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed despite your efforts to leave them alone. This maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you're actually super evil. That you were actually super evil all along. 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyway, The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are all a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero, apparently searching for the maiden, who is rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You didn't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured. By you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell her that the hero won't be taking her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you don't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She is frightened by you. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step towards the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you, and the hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You are sure you'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Selfish Overlord end. Let's do this, and then go hero. You're the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty, we've already read all this. I'ma do this. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel stronger now. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have been the one that came from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. She runs from you for some reason. You wonder what it's all about. Then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. You walk past the town square. You notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly as the flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Oh my god. So we didn't even get to see this guy. Who should I play next? That's the question. I haven't played as the underling in a bit. Oh, wait, what? Back. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if she doesn't let you go on a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it? Nice! You set out on your adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass wild and free. You make your way along the path to the nearby human village. You encounter a maiden. Bug. There's It's a bug on my screen. Anyway, she seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Tell her to quit yelling. The maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, and she regains her composure. You started talking to her like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which always has confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in this world? Self-aware writing. That is so fun. Anyway, I don't know why I call that fun. It's funny. If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? Maid is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. A few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Save yourself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You feel guilty you also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep dark forest somewhere. Deserter underling role. What if I do that? Oh shit. Huh. Oh. Wait, I wonder, can I fix... Wait, no, I can't. Maybe? Polite martyr. Turn those on. Heroic. Anyway, grant them the day off, because that just seems the easiest to do from here. It's made from the nearby human village. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her that you had never any plans. Let me just skip to where we have seen before. Tell her she'd better go home. You'd love to have a conversation. You'd love to have all the conversation in the world, but your new friend, having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put your mean face on and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you may go back to bed now, but you don't get to rest for very long. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule if this one is burnt? But you don't want to believe this is your underlings. You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you. This is no accident, those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Oh shit. Let's just go back to here. Grant them the day off. Tell her to go home. But the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want her to leave the castle. In case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses surprise that demons are not all what she expected them to be. You're glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid the humans, thus not agitate them and get the heroes sent after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You always thought humans, that's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that you may have been lying this whole time, that you're actually super evil and all. You've been super evil. I cannot fucking read. Maiden laughs, saying that she wouldn't mind being held captive. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway, this time as a hero. Before you even know how to react, he makes his move and the maiden makes hers. She used her own body to shield you from the hero's blade. Why? Why has this happened? The maiden falls to the floor lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. The hero has taken something precious from this world. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been satiated. You go on to destroy them all and become the ruler of the entire world. Vengeful Overlord NB. Let's go tyrant, antisocial, and possessive. Then let's go as the hero. Flee like a coward because we're going diplomatic here. Ask if they'll let you in. And then we could destroy the Overlord, or we could just ask the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains it's pretty dangerous. You ask her to return to town to assure everyone, but the Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it is your job to mediate situations like this. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let you two go, you'll have to assume she's evil, and you'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice then. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way, only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero end. Let's see. Let's skip. Introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're the maiden from the village. You tell her that you were thinking that maybe you should, that maybe you could, let's skip here. Refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her that you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny. Oh, yeah. As you think that a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first, until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. Good God, why can't I not speak? Nah. You apologize for causing any trouble. But really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you will return to the village with him. Give everybody the great news of your safety. But the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her that you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches your throat. You watch because you can't look away. She really has been lying to you all along. You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine plan? The Overlord approaches you. Now, you back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord is a horrible way. Like this was your destiny after all. The Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your screams before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for whatever they've done, even though it was awful. You feel like you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you confused for a moment, then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. I'm gonna just try to do voices if I can remember which voice I give which. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide to leave home again for the rest of your life. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Escape maiden ending B. Let's turn that off and then redo the maiden. Oh wait, shit. Being captured and all, this is your destiny after all. She vows to keep you safe, to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's nobody left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Captured maiden end A. We haven't done this yet. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this Overlord holding you and your friends back. Hear her out. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. And being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? The claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. It's a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Faithful underling end. Anyway, let's run that again. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them that you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be if you ended up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend like you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're cautious if they have any. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. I figured they would just lock her in her room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without somebody's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. Well, showy deaths make a revolution heck of a lot more fun. It's probably the wrong thing to do. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this, but you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, you don't have any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They took off back into the castle. They're headed for the Overlord's room. Fuck. Wait, did it actually say fuck? It said fuck. The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out what you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout out that the humans are liars. Your friends arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. Cry out that it was your idea, and they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they would tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. They all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep all of you in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to Plan A. Suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. Then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd gotten that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry out for mercy. You're forced into this mess. You're sure that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Shit. Trader's underling end. Let's go with this. Skip. Tell them to get back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure that they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier has brought back some company. You thought that you told the underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized breakaway from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. The maid from the nearby human village said her role is to be captured by you. The maiden goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient about the impending capture, so she's come to speed things along. We know this. Let her stay for a while, I think. Yeah, because we want the hero to come here. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. Then let's skip to the next one. Let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and the maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your own luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambitions cloud their judgment and lend them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't very sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately all you do is sleep. The group of demons muttered something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burns alive in your own room by those who you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden is crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're still filled with anger and frustration. You don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling. Those traitors burn blamed on everything. They cry out for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing that they'd be killed for taking your side. They cry out that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Forgive them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. The Overlord's true end. One sec. Before you're taken back to the rest of the story once again, you can pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What was the point of my effort if the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you were getting, of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. Ah, shit. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point you've grown attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. You aren't going to find that here in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. We're just gonna run the Overlord one more time, and then I'm gonna call it there. And then we're gonna try to get the hero's true ending after. Cause I just want to know what happens if I kill the. Take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord end. Alright. Well, anyway. I'm gonna call it there. Let me just... Yeah. Wait, what are these? Anyway, see you guys later. This was fun. I'm gonna play it more often. Well, actually, the next 4 or 5 streams that I do. Or 3 or 4 streams, I mean, are going to be this game. So if you like it, come join me live. I don't know if my chat function is working on OBS. If people are tuning in and I just can't see the chat, that's on me. Just let me know in the comments or something and I'll pull it up on my phone next time. Anyway, peace out. Wait, actually, nah, I can't show you. See ya.